Martin Haskell, inventor of the partial birth abortion. Same conference, just a few minutes later. Now, what's going on here is they have an actual partial birth abortion on film, on tape, being shown to the crowd. And he is describing what's going on as this partial abortion is being done. One of the things that I want to tell people to be aware of is at the end of this clip, for just a few seconds, you will hear him turn on the suction machine. That's when they inject or push the suction tube into the brain into the hole that they've created in the back of the baby's skull and suck out the brain. And you will hear that suction machine. And then you'll hear something else that we'll talk about later, and I think it's especially chilling.
We've already taken out the laminary and inserted the anesthetic to shorten the viewing time to 5 minutes. This assistant's moving the probe along the abdomen. We always start at the pubis, move to the fundus, and back to the pubis to get orientation. The transducer is always held horizontal to the patient. That way I can always judge the depth of whatever's on my screen. I'm always looking at a cross-section on the screen. Observing the screen, I can manipulate my instrument more by what I see on the screen rather than what's in front of me in the speculum.
Great.
Patient's awake. You can hear me communicating with the patient. You can hear how relaxed and comfortable this patient is. She's not sedated other than the nitrous oxide that she's breathing and that she has control over. She can take it off or put it back on her nose as she chooses. Of course, I got it. Now, you can't see the sonogram screen very clearly here, but immediately after the delivery of the fetus here, I'll show you the sonogram screen in full screen.
Causing a lot of pressure now. All right, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Little moan from the patient at this point. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, this patient's about an 8. Most patients don't even react as much as this patient is. I have used paracervical blocks on some, pudendal blocks on some of these patients, but I have had a number of problems with some leg paralysis, somewhat short-lived, but nonetheless management problems. So we've tended away from pudendal blocks. At this point, the procedure is really pretty easy. You have a lot of control. It's really easy to slide the scissor up there and safely puncture the skull without endangering the patient. The crux of the procedure really is getting the lower extremity delivered. Once you've got that, it's easy.
You're really brave. You're great. Okay.
Mona, we just heard a child murdered.
Correct.
It's very difficult to listen to this and not be affected by it. I don't see how anybody couldn't be. These people aren't, though. They do them. But
They applaud
you
it.
know, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was alluding to before we started this tape. I don't care what your position on abortion is. To sit there and applaud what you just heard described I think that says more about the pro-choice community than anything you or I could ever dream up.
Right.
We don't, and I want people to understand something. We've talked about this and other abortion procedures, how horrible they are. And the abortion industry always comes back and says, oh, these people are exaggerating. These are their own words.
Absolutely. This is their training tape.
Right.
They were showing you how you do a partial birth abortion.
And he talks about that they've already done a few things to streamline the procedure, so it only takes about 5 minutes. You're talking about in the span of a 5-minute period of time, this baby was systematically destroyed. This guy described it. These people applauded. What is wrong with these people? How could someone do that? It's amazing to me.